Aren't you just sick of playing bad golf when you hit thousands of golf balls at the driving range? And rather than getting better, you're actually getting worse. Well, fear not, because in this video, I'm going to be showing you a drill that will only take you 5 minutes of your time to see much better results. So if this is one of your first videos of mine, welcome. I'm Harry, a golf teach professional, and I started this YouTube channel to help people play better at the game they love. So make sure you hit that subscribe button if you would like to stay tuned to weekly golf tip videos to help you improve those scores. Now, before we jump right in, I must recommend you watching stages 1 and 2 of this video, the key factor and also the difference between pros and amateurs. And I almost forgot to mention, I will be adding a bonus tip to this drill for those of you who want to see even better results once you've given this a try. So the key fact that allows golfers to hit consistently good golf shots is the low point. The low point determines whether you're going to make good contact or bad contact. Now, the low point is simply determined by the lowest part of your golf swing. So at the setup position, it would be defined as the club being directly next to the golf ball, so this point here. Now, during a golf swing works on a circle, a giant circle. We take it up into the backswing, we bring it down into the downswing, make our way all the way through to finish. And it forms this giant circle. And the low point that we determine during our golf swing is around this sort of area here. So it's not directly at the golf ball, it's either past the golf ball, or for some players that tend to struggle with ball striking, it would be before the golf ball. Ideally, we would like to see the low point, the lowest part of the golf swing, around 3 to 4 inches past the golf ball. So during the golf swing, we should be able to get this swing arc to move forwards to get the ball, then turf contact afterwards. If we get turf contact before the golf ball, then we know the lowest part of the golf swing is before hitting the golf ball, so this side here. Or if we thin the golf ball, we also know that we've just had the low point just on this side and we've lifted up to hit the golf ball. So that's the difference there between hitting good golf shots and bad golf shots. This determines everything. Without strike, you can't control the curvature on your golf shot, starting directions, and also where the golf ball finishes. And that brings us into the second bit, the difference between great players and amateurs. Now, great players will be able to control the low point in a way that they can get that ball, then turf contact, get the low point, that 3 to 4 inches past the golf ball every single time. And when we take a look at their golf swings, you'll notice one example I'm going to give here, taking a look at Tommy Fleetwood, is that as he starts his downswing, we notice the hands, clubs start to move in a way that allows him to get into this really nice set delivery position where the trail arm is flexed, the elbow faces towards the body, the lead arm here is in a nice strong position, ready to then extend and compress that golf ball. So you'll notice there that it tends to go a little bit narrow, hands go narrower towards the body on the way down, and then they extend through afterwards. And when we take a look at amateur golfers, they tend to do the opposite motion, where they'll get to the very top of the golf swing and their first movement is creating this wider arc, this wider motion during the downswing phase. Now, the term I tend to use in golf coaching is that the golf swing will always work in reactions. So for the pros, they get this narrower arc on the way down and the wider motion on the way through. Amateurs will do the opposite. They'll get to the top and their first move is this motion. So in reaction, they're going to have to pull in. And as soon as I pulled in then, take a look at where I hit the ground. I hit the ground miles before where the golf ball would have been. So that's a great indication there that I've moved my swing arc this away during the downswing rather than forwards during the downswing. So we need to be able to get that good contact, to get those consistent, reliable golf shots. But by doing this, we actually need to control our low point and our swing arc. We want a narrower to wide swing arc. But the question is, how do we do just that? And that brings me into the 3-stage drill. Now, for the first 2 minutes, I want you to focus on the downswing. So once you get to the very top of your golf swing and you're practicing this without a golf ball, it can be in your back garden if you wanted to, just get to the very top of your golf swing. And all I want you to do is allow this elbow of yours to pull inwards against your body. So when I get to the top of my golf swing here, my first initial reaction, the transition for this to take place, is simply this action here. Now you can see there I've not really moved my hand, wrist, or golf club. I've just simply folded my right elbow, my trail elbow, into the body. Now this straight away is pushing that circle inwards. It's pushing it towards the screen. It's pushing it forwards as opposed to backwards. So if I was just to take two hands on the golf club now and rehearse that movement there, look at what happens if I then force my lead arm to stay straight. It gets me into this really nice slot to allow for the rotation to take place, and that sets me up here into that delivery position. So the first part of this drill, the downswing, is allowing this elbow to tuck in to the body and then rotate. Tuck and rotate, tuck and rotate. Now just before we add in that follow through stage, I just wanted to let you know that I do currently offer in-person and online golf coaching. So if you're looking for more personalized coaching to suit your golf swing, I'd recommend checking out the links in the description below, or simply searching up harryshawgolf.com and you'll be given the options there to choose online coaching or in-person coaching. And then from here, the next 2 minutes I want you to focus on for the follow through stage is simply extending the trail arm. So we're extending the trail arm. We're going to tuck, rotate, and extend. And that brings you all the way through to that finish. So the drill is very simple. You're going to start by hitting a few golf shots, tucking in, rotating, and extending through. And you could see there from the face-on view how much narrower my downswing was compared to my through swing. And once you've practiced this in stages, got used to that action, you can start to build this all up into one motion. So what I'm doing here is going nice and slow, tuck in, rotate, and extend. Tuck in, rotate, and extend. Very, very simple. And that one already felt much better with the compression side of things. It felt like I could really get that low point shifting forwards without having to lean so far onto this lead side of the body. After 20, 30 golf swings, make a swing full out with or without the golf ball. That was a really nice contact. However, as you could see, I've pushed that one a little bit too far to the right, and there is a reason for this, and that brings me into the bonus tip for this. And the bonus tip is all to do with controlling this club face. Now, the relationship between the club face and us, as we make our way through the golf swing, the only connection is the hands. So we've got to be able to control the hands in a way that allows this club face to stay square. Now, as I do that motion, you'll notice there, as I bring my elbow to tuck in, I rotate, we can see here it forms this angle here. Now, this angle allows us to create shaft lean. Shaft lean, so the handle pushing forwards, club staying behind. But what does that encourage the club face to do? It encourages the face to open up. So what we want to be able to do is close that club face down. We want to be able to close that club face down. Now you can see there, my lead wrist is starting to flex, it's starting to bow to allow that to take place. My trail wrist is working the opposite way here to form the same action with the golf club. So as you take the club back, we don't want to see this action here. We don't want to see that club face start to open up. As you can see there, that extension taking place. So if I was to rehearse this drill and tuck my arm in, rotate and extend, we can see there what that leaves. It leaves a massively open club face. To guarantee that compression and straighter golf shots, we want to be able to set the club in the takeaway so the face is pointing more towards the ground. Now you can see what this does to my trail wrist, my lead wrist. It allows them to get into the same position as we need them for impact, and we get this shaft lean taking place. So we want to allow that club face to simply close down without manipulating anything in our swing too much. So all I've done there is I've just focused on getting my right palm, my trail palm, to face towards the ground. So it's hinging and it's facing towards the ground. And simply allow that hinge to take place during the full motion up until that release stage at this point here where we get that full extension on the way through. So I'm just going to add in that takeaway, focus on that palm facing towards the ground, then I'm tucking it in, rotating into the back of the golf ball, and that's helping me there straight away square the club face, and then we're extending on the way through. So again, you can practice that in stages. After some swings, building this up into all-in-one motion. And then once you feel ready, you can start to apply this into your full golf swing. And that one then, although there was no difference to that one whatsoever, apart from me closing that face at the start, that felt a much better strike just because I was able to square the club face up at impact, as you can see from the impact video there. And when I check out this video over to the right hand side of your screen, next, as YouTube believes this one's the best one for you to watch next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you over there.